Jonathan Tate Reeves is an American politician serving as the 65th and current governor of Mississippi since 2020, a member of the Republican Party. He was the 53rd Mississippi State Treasurer from 2004 to 2012 and the 32nd Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi from 2012 to 2020. At age 29, he was the youngest state treasurer in the nation when elected in 2003 and the first Republican to hold the office in Mississippi. He was the Republican nominee for governor of Mississippi in the 2019 election and defeated the Democratic nominee, Attorney General Jim Hood, a native of Rankin County, Mississippi. Reeves graduated in 1992 from Florence High School in Florence. He is an honors graduate of Millsaps College in Jackson, where he earned a bachelor's degree in economics. He played 1 year as a point guard for the Millsaps Majors basketball team and was a member of Kappa Alpha Order. Reeves remains involved with Millsaps by serving as a member of the Investment Policy Board for the General Lewis Wilson Fund and a member the Advisory Committee of the Yale School of Management. Reeves's Millsaps College fraternity, Kappa Alpha, was known for racist activities, including using racial epithets and hosting Confederate-themed dances. Reeves became embroiled in controversy when yearbook photos surfaced showing fraternity members in blackface and Confederate uniforms, but it is unclear whether Reeves was involved. After Millsaps, Reeves pursued a career in banking and finance in Jackson, where he became assistant vice president for AmSouth, formerly the Deposit Guarantee National Bank, and served as a senior investment analyst in 2000. Reeves became an investment officer for Trustmark National Bank in Jackson. Reeves holds the Chartered Financial Analyst designation and is a member of the SFAR Society of Mississippi and the SFAR Institute, an investment industry organization. In 1996, he was the recipient of the Mississippi Society of Financial Analysts Award. Reeves entered the 2003 GOP primary election and faced former Transportation Commissioner Wayne Burks of Brandon and State Representative Andrew Ketchings of Natchez. Reeves ran strongly in GOP strongholds, including Lamar, DeSoto, and Rankin counties. In the three-candidate primary, Reeves led with 49% of the vote, and routed Burks in the primary runoff. In the general election, Reeves defeated Democratic nominee Gary Anderson, the state director of finance and administration, 52% to 48%. Unopposed in the GOP primary, Reeves's only Democratic opposition in the 2007 general election was perennial candidate Sean O'Hara. Reeves was re-elected with 61% of the vote. Reeves served as lieutenant governor from 2012 to 2020. In February 2011, Reeves officially launched a campaign for lieutenant governor and held a fundraising lead over his primary opponent, Mississippi State Senate President pro tempore Billy Hughes of Gulfport. A May 2011 poll of likely Republican voters showed Reeves with a 51% to 18% lead over Hughes. On August 2, 2011, Reeves defeated Hughes. On November 8, he was elected lieutenant governor, succeeding Phil Bryant, who was elected to his first term as governor. Reeves won re-election as lieutenant governor on November 3, 2015, defeating three opponents, including State Senator Timothy Johnson, a Republican-turned-Democrat. Newspaper reporting on the misuse of statewide public officials' campaign funds indicated that Reeves did not misuse these funds. Non-election year expenses were directed toward campaign-related items such as computer databases or political travel. Reeves ran for governor of Mississippi in the 2019 election. He opposed Medicaid expansion, which he called Obamacare expansion. In the Republican primary, he and Bill Waller Jr. finished in first and second place, respectively. Because no candidate won a majority of the total vote, Reeves and Waller proceeded to a runoff election on August 27, which Reeves won. Reeves was sworn in as governor on January 14, 2020. In November 2020, Reeves said he would veto any bill that expanded mail-in voting or no-excuse early voting. According to the Associated Press, Mississippi has some of the most restrictive laws in the U.S. about voting before Election Day. After Joe Biden won the 2020 election and Donald Trump refused to concede, Reeves supported lawsuits to throw out the election results in several states where Trump and his allies made false claims of fraud. In the midst of the acceleration of the COVID-19 pandemic, Reeves overrode local leaders' decisions to order people to stay at home, instead telling Mississippians get back to life as usual, and deeming places like bars, dine-in restaurants and churches essential services. He also refused to close down beaches. Reeves refused to announce stay-at-home orders, telling people to trust in the power of prayer. The decision was widely condemned. Asked in late March 2020 why China could impose a lockdown but Mississippi could not, Reeves answered,